Welcome to Responding to Your Comments. This is where I take your comments, I have them here, and I respond to them. It's a very simple concept, it's nothing difficult. So I did videos on Facebook for a long time, I did videos on Instagram for a long time. So some of these comments come from Facebook, some from YouTube, this is all over the place. Early on this month was Random Act of Kindness Day, and I gave my mailman 20 bucks, and I was gonna give him an Oreo in an envelope. You can see that video, I believe it's on Facebook, I think. But anyway, Adam Campbell commented, decided to do some random acts of kindness on my own after being inspired by this. Even if it's paying for the person behind you at nearby fast food restaurant, it's always nice to get that warm feeling every once in a while. You're totally correct. And Ronnie Moyers said, waiting on the hidden cam footage of the event. I didn't record the event because I unfortunately had work the day that he came around and saw it. However, there was a follow-up video where I got a letter back from him. I've still got it over here. But basically my mail person came back around and said, it's been a real pleasure serving you. So thanks for those comments, Adam and Ronnie. So before this channel turned into what it is now, where I sort of release different content every single day, I was releasing just simply bass covers every single day. And I did a cover of a song from Final Fantasy VI called Searching for Friends. It's one of my favorite songs of that soundtrack. And I got a comment from someone called Around the Fur, and they said, I love this song so much, and it's one of the reasons that at 40 years old I am now wanting to pick up a bass and learn an instrument. Awesome job on this. So I had sort of a mini freak out moment whenever I first read this comment, because in my mind, and maybe I'm wrong about it, I feel like I sort of inspired someone to learn bass in this instance. But even if I didn't, it's the song that I love that ultimately led to this person bringing music into his or her life. And that song and that whole game makes me emotional anyway. And I'm really glad that someone else decided to start learning an instrument because of it. So Around the Fur, thank you for commenting, and keep me updated on how your bass learning's going. I'll help you in any way I can. So on another Final Fantasy bass cover, this one is the Final Fantasy IV boss battle theme. Smeekeeper commented, so glad to see this on a 4-string with an actual pleasing time. Is this in standard, any effects? Okay. 4-string bass is the only bass that I'll play. I feel like it was intended to only have 4 strings on it, so that's sort of my take on that. Is this in standard? Yes, it's in standard tuning in the key of C minor. There's a modulation bit, it jumps to another key later on, and any effects. No, I have here the stuff that I use. It's basically just a very, very basic amp simulator, a little bit of EQ, and I think just a tiny bit of compression, and that's it. That's all I used. Thank you, Smeekeeper! On my office tour, where I showed off my video game collection, which is behind this green screen, Damo Beware says, I love it, brother! I've been wanting to get a retro collection going, but I'm just waiting to finally get like a Retron or something. Keep up the grind, it'll pay off. You know, some of these games I've had for 30 years back here, and some games I've had for maybe 6 months. I didn't start actually taking collecting seriously until maybe about 4 years ago. And as far as like retro collecting goes, dude, you don't have to wait to get anything. You can start doing it now. I would say do it now versus do it later, because the prices of everything keeps going up. And so typically if I see a really good deal on a game, maybe not now, but if I were still collecting, I would absolutely jump on it then, because the price of that thing is going to keep going up. But thank you for your comment, and I hope that your retro collecting goes well, because it was fun when I was doing it actively. Also, on my video where I gave my mail person 20 bucks, Eric says, Mr. Phillips, you the man, but if you give 2001 or more, your mail person will be dragged out back and flogged. Ethics, Mr. Phillips, ethics. What's up, man? I hope things are going well for you. And for the record, I would never dream of giving any mail person a penny. 20 bucks is fine, but I'm not gonna put a penny in an envelope, and I don't want that person flogged, so that's another reason. Eric, always good to hear from you. Take care of yourself, man. Thank you for your comment. And lastly, Elizabeth, okay, so a bit of context for this one. I usually, every now and then, I would upload a video where I talk about sort of horror stories from working in retail. One of which was how I don't like when people, how do I put it? I don't like it when people have something that they think they want, and then they see something better and they put it here. and get the thing they want. This is in the wrong place. I went on just a huge tirade of how I can't stand that. And Elizabeth says, why do people put bananas they don't want in the freezer? That is a true story that happened. And why do people, I don't understand why people do anything. And I'm saying people as in just sort of like a generalized statement or whatever. But just this morning, this over by the canned tomatoes. I work in a grocery store, a nondescript grocery store. There was a can of diced tomatoes that we have, and then across, it's a bit, I don't know, it's a little bit further down. There's a display of Italian diced tomatoes. So they left the regular can of diced tomatoes where the Italian one goes. Blah, blah, blah. No, seemingly nothing wrong with that. Until you realize that somebody's gonna get asked why that happened, and if that happens enough, people get written up. If people get written up enough, people get fired. So your little can of diced tomatoes can get somebody fired. And that's my whole argument. Like, just 10 steps back, go put it back where I put it originally. Put it back where you found it. We're not children, or maybe it was. But if that's the case, there should be parents. But if the parents are doing it, then who's controlling the parents? Because the parents are just as bad as the kids. Anyway, I've done a whole thing. Anyway, thank you for all your comments. And if you want your comment to be featured, I would like to do this every Thursday. Just comments on any one of my videos. It doesn't have to be this one, doesn't have to be yesterday's, it could be any one of them. Anyway, thank you for commenting, those who commented. I love all your faces, regardless if you commented or not. And I'll see you back here tomorrow with something I forgot. Okay, bye.